Hello there, everybody. If it wasn't clear by my fashionable decor, it's my favorite time of the year. I wouldn't say Christmas specifically is my favorite holiday, but it's just the whole vibe about this time of year that I love. The fire in the fireplace, fresh snow on the ground, and of course, the holiday specials. About 30 dozen Christmas films are out there, and even saying that I feel like is lowballing. But even with all of the good cheer and peace on earth that comes around this time of our 12-month calendar, there is one frivolous and never-ending debate that always happens. What even counts as a Christmas film? And more specifically, is Die Hard one of them? The iconic movie about this one-man army named John McClane, a New York City detective trapped on a 40-story building while terror, wrists, invade to steal a boatload of cash. And with his wife as well as like 20 other people also trapped on the building with the SWAT team on the ground unable to do anything, John McClane has to take out every last one of them himself. I hope that plot summary was accurate, haven't seen the film in a while. Under literally any other circumstance, this film would absolutely just be an action film and leave it at that. But you see, it takes place on Christmas Eve. All of the aesthetics and the reasons the characters are here in the first place is because of the holiday. But outside of Christmas being the setting and the main motivator of the plot, it literally has nothing to do with Christmas. If everybody was instead gathering for the 4th of July or some shit, this movie would have a nearly identical plot. And because of this, for over 3 decades now, people have been pointlessly arguing about what the classification of this film is. And that's where I step in, because I'm tired of these pointless and stupid debates. All of these people with wrong opinions fruitlessly arguing for no reason is nonsense, and I'm here to put a stop to it. I mean, after all, I understand the true meaning of Christmas. I'm the perfect kind of guy to settle this. So is Die Hard a Christmas film? Well, to answer that, I want to first talk about the wider scope of Christmas movies. What is a Christmas movie just at the base level? I don't think it's a movie just about the holiday of Christmas. I think it also needs to carry the spirit that Christmas has. Like, let me just give you an example of what I'm saying here. I would argue that The Grinch and A Christmas Carol are two of the purest Christmas films out there. I could give you a plot synopsis for these two films, but like, do I even need to? These films are so iconic with their plots and their themes to where summary is pretty much pointless. An old greedy and stingy man by the name of Ebenezer Scrooge gets visited in the middle of Christmas Eve night by 3 separate spirits. The spirit of Christmas past, present, and yet to come. Yeah, they don't call it the Ghost of Christmas Future in the 1984 version, which is the one I watched, but whatever. The beginning of the film is specifically dedicated to showing off how bad a person Ebenezer is, refusing to celebrate the holidays with his family, not giving his assistant proper time off, refusing to donate to the poor. He's rich, alright. With the rest of the film going forward dedicating to showing their error of his ways. How he's affected people in the past directly, how he's indirectly affected them in the present, and how nobody's going to miss him when he's dead in the yet to come. And by the end of it all, becoming a better person, truly wanting to correct his past mistakes going forward. And with The Grinch, it's a very similar tale. Adrift on a snowflake floating through the sky is the town of Whoville, and living on the mountain next to it is the Grinch. Their whole society is basically just Christmas, and as you probably don't need me telling you, the Grinch hates Christmas. So he jacks their shit in order to steal Christmas from all of them. Until after he is successful with this, in which he learns that they are celebrating Christmas regardless, and that the holiday isn't just a bunch of toys and decorations. It's a celebration of people coming together with their loved ones and cherishing each other, in which his heart then grows 2 sizes, leading him to give back all of their toys and confusingly named objects. Now, why do I consider these 2 movies to be patient zero for what a Christmas film is? I got a few reasons and I'll list them off here. For starters, they take place during Christmas, kind of obviously. Themes typically involving Christmas carolers, snowy pine trees, bright colorful lights. The visuals and time frame is kind of what's assumed when someone mentions a Christmas movie. Secondly, I feel the plot has to kind of be interlocking with the holiday, whether it be the build up to or the actual events of the day. The events in the plot have to be affected by the season it's taking place. The reason John McClane is even up in that building is because it's Christmas, opposed to Lethal Weapon, which is just kind of set during it. Those are the obvious ones that pretty much every movie I'm going to be talking about has, but there's also the spirit and the moral to it. A lot of these films end with the message that Christmas isn't about the presents or the food or anything else of that matter. It's about giving and showing your loved ones that they matter to you. Or like in the 2 examples I gave, somebody learning empathy, kindness, generosity, forgivefulness, all of those good traits. Now, whoever the main character is doesn't need to necessarily start off as an asshole and learn to become a good guy later on, but having some kind of moral about compassion affection and love for your fellow man is a must. I mean, that's what the holidays are about, isn't it? These three are my holiday Bechdel test. Is it during Christmas? Does Christmas affect it at all? And does it have a related moral or lesson? The reason Die Hard is often argued to not be a Christmas movie is because of that last one. It checks the first two boxes just fine, but it doesn't really have the spirit of the holiday. I mean, it's an action movie, so it's not really expected to. But you see, there's another Christmas movie I would argue falls into the same category Die Hard does. Doing those first two just fine, but not really being concerned with the last. If you want to argue that Die Hard isn't a Christmas film, then you also have to argue that A Christmas Story isn't a Christmas film. Just let me go off, okay? The main argument against Die Hard is that only the setting is Christmas related. You could rewrite the entire movie to remove any element of its Christmas relation, and a lot of the movie would still be preserved. And if I may, I would argue it's the same case for A Christmas Story. After having rewatched it again for this video and having fresh eyes on it, I would say overall it's more a story about adolescence than the life of a child in a traditional nuclear family. In this story, we follow the 9-year-old boy known as Ralphie with his one objective of getting a sweet Red Ryder rifle under that tree. So the main objective is getting a Christmas present he wants. That's a solid case for this being a Christmas film. And also like the title. I mean, in the movie, they also go buy a Christmas tree, go Christmas shopping, and sit on the lap of a mall Santa. But most of the plot is pretty disconnected. The events sure are, but like the story isn't. Let me just explain. His objective of getting the Red Ryder rifle is really just that, his objective. The rest of the happenings of the story and the goings on have loads of disconnected elements. Him trying to help his dad change a tire and accidentally saying the F word in front of him and him getting his mouth washed out with soap. Ralph standing up for himself and beating up a bully that had been terrorizing him the entire film. Getting a cringy gift from a distant family member and having to pretend to like it. There are several sequences where he'll envision something happening that are such good encapsulations of the childhood experience. Fantasizing about the soap making him go blind and his family giving him a bunch of attention for it. Fantasizing about his strict teacher giving him a perfect grade on his theme and the entire class congratulating him in unison. Fantasizing about protecting his family from a bunch of cartoon robbers with that rifle he oh so desires. All of these imagination sequences are entirely unlinked from anything Christmas related, and I would argue that they're only here to support the theme of Ralph's innocence and childlike wonder. I mean, come on, we've all had these sorts of power fantasies when we were younger, right? And I think the present that he wants supports that. How much does he actually want a gun compared to wanting to impress his friends and look cool? Because for all of the hype it gets throughout the entire film, he only gets to shoot like one BB pellet on screen. More often than not, whenever it's brought up is by other characters and always in a reprimanding way, them claiming he'll shoot his eye out. And by the end of the film, that very thing happens. I mean, it kind of hits his glasses, which results in them breaking, but if he didn't have them on, it would have shot his eye out. There really isn't any moral to be found about how you should be thankful for what you have. That it's not about the presents, it's about being with your family, or your heart growing 3 sizes and dying of a hernia. It's more about the experience of being a kid and trying to get through a day-to-day life. In this aspect, at least to me, it exceeds with flying colors. But as a Christmas film, not so much. I still do get a very jolly and festive feeling from it, but I feel it's more chalked up to the aesthetics and the music of the film, and if that's enough for you, then go off, I guess, but the story is largely separated from the concept of Christmas. In the same way I would argue that Die Hard is. Literally the same movie. It's obviously more of a Christmas film than Die Hard is. I mean, Christmas is in the title, but conceptually, they have the same approach with a disconnected story taking place at the set piece of Christmas. Well, goddamn, Gazpacho 1, if A Christmas Story doesn't meet the classification for a Christmas film, then what does? I say we go over some classic Christmas films and how they actually do fit into this mold. You see, this right here, this is a primo Christmas film right here. Home Alone stars little boy Kevin McAllister as his family accidentally leaves him docile singular. Kevin's extended family is over for the holidays, and in tandem with his older brother, he's getting pushed around quite a lot, leading him to wish he never had a family and that he just lived by himself. And his wish comes true that very next morning when his family accidentally leaves him behind on their trip to France, accidentally getting left behind in the shuffle. That, coupled with the power lines going down, meaning they can't just call him, has Kevin believing his family got wished away and now he's the only McAllister left, and with the rest of his family trying to rush home after they realize their error. This movie has every quality I think a good Christmas film should have. It has the aesthetics down pat with several Christmas songs playing and different holiday themed things going on in the background, the plot set in motion by the holidays, and the moral. After he believes he gets his wish, he's pretty ecstatic about it, being able to do anything he wants. But as he takes up more responsibilities and has to fend for himself, he begins to realize how much he actually misses his family. That and being an evil little bastard. Not only Kevin realizing that, but his mom as well. Near the beginning of the film, she wasn't properly addressing his feelings due to the overcrowding in the house, and starts to feel incredibly guilty that he was left behind with no way to contact him. I really love the journey Kevin goes on of realizing he needs people in his life and that deep down he really loves his family. Of course, this is second to the bigger theme going on, that's the comedy aspect of it. I know I'm not really talking about the movies themselves and more critiquing them on how they stack up as Christmas films, but Jesus Christ, Kevin's brutal. Like, I know the most well-known element about this film is all of the traps he makes in order to fight off these two burglars, but he drops an iron from like 20 feet up on this one dude, like he should be dead. Something that's really good about Home Alone is that pretty much everything supports the theme of family. His parents in the airport convincing this lady to trade seats with them so she can fly back for Kevin. This old snow shoveler talking with Kevin in church about his estranged son. It absolutely nails that heartwarming Christmas vibe that I love from these types of films. Another film in the same genre of Christmas comedy that checks all of these boxes very well is Elf. It's also somehow the first film we've looked at to roll with the idea that Santa's a real person. On one fateful Christmas, while Santa's delivering presents to the children of an orphanage, one of the orphaned babies crawls in his bag while he's distracted and accidentally gets brought back to the North Pole. I mean, the kid was already orphaned, might as well keep him. They decide to name him Buddy and raise him as one of the elves. But due to him being human, he doesn't really fit in with all of the others. So they send him off one day to New York City to go meet his real parents. I mean, just from that synopsis, the film already checks all the boxes. The first two pretty easily, but also with how Buddy is an outcast pretty much everywhere. He can't fit in with the elves due to his size, and he can't fit in with the humans due to being raised as an elf. It has a really strong message about acceptance and that everybody belongs somewhere. His biological family being unwilling to accept him at first and eventually coming around to accept him for the person he is and cherish his differences. It's pretty basic and is overall more about the comedy elements similar to the last one with its approach, but it's still very enjoyable and is a great embodiment of Christmas. But of course, when it comes to Christmas comedies, there is only one film that is considered king when it comes to the laugh factor, and that is Christmas Vacation. Personally, having just watched the film for this video, it wasn't as funny as I remember it being, or even as funny as Home Alone with this little gremlin just screaming every 2 seconds, but it's still definitely a Christmas film. Imagine A Christmas Story but the main character is the dad. That's basically the plot. Clark Griswold is your average nuclear family man, just trying to survive the holidays with his extended family. Throughout the entire film, he's really holding out for that Christmas bonus, but as it goes on, he learns it's not about any of that mess and it's about family. I hope you're starting to see the pattern with these films. So there you have it. Here's a neat little method of how you can determine what is and isn't a Christmas film, and cases of how it can be applied. Of course, I've mainly been listing movies that are undeniably Christmas movies. What about more controversial ones in the same ballpark as Die Hard? Batman Returns, well, that's just a Batman movie on Christmas Eve, nothing festive about it. Gremlins doesn't pass for the same reason A Christmas Story doesn't. Catch Me If You Can, another case of a film just taking place on the holiday. The Nightmare Before Christmas is obviously a Halloween film, so I don't even think it has to be considered. Why does it have a perfect score? Okay, wait a minute. No. This can't be a Christmas film. Look how spooky the characters are. This is clearly a Halloween film. Okay, you know what? Plot synopsis. Jack Skellington is the Pumpkin King and the head honcho of Halloween Town. Every year, their town of terrors joins together to celebrate All Hallows Eve. But old Jack has started getting dissatisfied with the same old thing, longing for more than just Halloween Town and Oogie Boogies. And in his longing, he aimlessly journeys into the woods, eventually stumbling across a formation of trees leading to different lands. One of these being Christmas Town. And after he beholds the wonders of Christmas, he seeks to understand what this warm feeling inside of him is. This plot is simple, simpler than many of the others we've talked about already, but it works so effectively with all of the other elements going on. There's obviously the musical aspect, which is great, but not really what this discussion here is about. But the arc Jack has, well, of the moral of the story is really something unique for this genre of movie. He craves something new, anything new from the old routine, and in seeking that, he abandons entirely what he was and still is by the end. He goes pretty off the deep end, trying not only to understand Christmas, but getting the town to understand. Not being able to get that children don't want heads as gifts. And it's only after getting shot down by the US government, yes, that's a real plot point in a Disney film, does he come to accept that he doesn't need to be somebody else and grows to accept himself for who he is. He doesn't have to abandon being the Pumpkin King in order to celebrate Christmas. He can do both without completely sacrificing the other. And in the end, the whole town gets to learn the true meaning of Christmas, discovering all of the new without having to throw away the old. So, Fuck! By my own classifications, this has the Christmas aesthetic through having Christmas Town as well as the Christmas music. Christmas is a significant part of the plot because his downfall happens while he's delivering toys, and it has the moral of loving yourself, so I guess whatever then. This is a Christmas film. But you know what? It's fine. There's only one outlier to this system, so it's still foolproof. Shazam follows the story of 14-year-old Billy Batson, a foster kid aimlessly drifting through life, running from every foster home he's been sent to, in a hopeless attempt to find his original mother who he was separated from years prior. Until one day, a powerful wizard searching for a chosen one chooses him to become the superhero known as Shazam. Through the course of his journey, doing superhero stuff, coming to accept his found family as his real family after learning his mother abandoned him on purpose, and I'm just about at my limit. Christmas stuff is going on, it has a theme about family, by my own classifications, this is a Christmas movie. And I think when a system counts Shazam as a Christmas film, but not a Christmas story, it's just about when it starts to break down. I think I've been looking at this all wrong. How can I be the one to decide what a Christmas film even is? Can I even say I understand the meaning of Christmas? I mean, of course I have a grasp on what I think Christmas is, but is that just a grasp on what I think it is? Who am I, after all, to define what Christmas means? Can I even define what Christmas is? It's the season about giving and loving one another and compassion and kindness and goodwill, but like, maybe this is what Christmas means to me. How can I be so brash as to define for other people what the meaning of a time of year is? I mean, do some of these movies I said are Christmas films even count upon reevaluation? I mean, The Nightmare Before Christmas has a weird-ass moral for a Christmas movie. These ghosts could have frankly haunted Ebenezer anytime they damn wanted to. And how can Christmas Vacation even be counted as a Christmas film when the lead actor is a jackass? Okay, the chart. At the bare minimum, it has to take place during Christmas. But what does that even mean exactly? I mean, does the entire film have to take place during the holiday? Most of these films I've talked about are during the build-up and only have the finales on Christmas. A lot of these Christmas movies don't even end on the day. Some of them end the day before or after, so what does on Christmas even entail? The moral. All of them gotta have a moral, right? But A Christmas Story doesn't, and that's a story about Christmas because it's a Christmas story. Okay, the plot being affected by Christmas. That's gotta be foolproof. Any movie that has its plot affected by the holiday of Christmas in any way is a certified Christmas film with no outliers. But that also means that Die Hard is a Christmas film. You know what? That's it. Fuck this, fuck you, and fuck Christmas! I'm out of here, man. I'm going outside. I think I have been humbled making this video. I went into this with the idea of certifiably defining once and for all what counts as a Christmas movie, but I don't even think I can answer anymore what counts as Christmas. 8 Crazy Nights. Typically pretty shit on for being another Adam Sandler mess, but it does fit all of the terms I've set. It has the aesthetic of the holidays, the plot is affected by it, and it has some kind of moral about accepting each other. But that's just the thing. This isn't a Christmas movie. It's about Hanukkah. It is pointless trying to decide what a Christmas movie is because nobody celebrates the same. For some people, December is the month of Santa Claus and giving presents, giving coal to all the naughty children, reindeer on the roof, yada yada. But for others, Christmas isn't about Santa or any of that noise at all. It's about the birth of Christ and celebrating Christianity with others. Loads of people don't even celebrate Christmas. Some have Hanukkah. Instead of one day with a whole month of build-up, it's spread out across 8, giving gifts all across that period of time and celebrating the miracle of oil. I think I have only celebrated Christmas. Do I look like I know what I'm talking about? For many different people, this time of year is many different things. Christmas, Hanukkah, Las Posadas, Kwanzaa, Bodhi Day, St. Lucia Day. There is no certifiable and definitive way to celebrate during the month of December. And if there is no one clear-cut, unarguable, undebatable, defined holiday during the month of December, then who am I, somebody who can barely even pronounce those other holidays, to come in here and declare what the meaning of the season is even about? If there is no one way to define Christmas, then I shall also argue that there is no one way to define what a Christmas movie is. I have my little method of madness, and you might even agree with it, but if the meaning is different for everybody, then there is no one meaning. A Christmas Story can be a Christmas film, and so can Catch Me If You Can, and The Gremlins, and Prometheus, Lethal Weapon, and yes, even you, Die Hard. I know in my heart how I celebrate this time of year and how I like to define it, and you know in yours. There is no definable Christmas, and there is no definable Christmas movie. And now that I think we're done here with our little discussion, I think I'm gonna go celebrate mine. Happy holidays, everyone, and to a lot of you, Merry Christmas.
Sun shining through